17 of 21 days of vegan. I finally cooked the bok choy with the oyster sauce. I didn't have time to chop up the ginger and the garlic, so I just used garlic powder, ginger powder, and onion powder. Cooked it in some toasted sesame oil and put it over rice. It was good. I wanted to saute the mushrooms as well, but I was on my way to an appointment, so I didn't have enough time to do that. But I needed food on my body, so I had that for dinner. And I had a breakthrough moment. There was a guy who I thought at the moment ghosted me because he wasn't following through on if we're going to meet up, or are we going to see each other today or not. And I reached out to confirm at 1 o'clock today and didn't hear back from him. So I was like, oh, he must have ghosted, so I guess I'm going to make other plans. And I luckily, I was able to channel that frustration, but I didn't use food to quench my feelings. Usually I would go get a bag of chips or cookies to feed my disappointment, but I actually sat with the feelings, and I was just like, I'm mad, I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, but I didn't have the desire to eat. And that was new, because usually that would give me the desire to go get some ice cream, some cookies, something to comfort myself and about, because this bad thing happened. But it's interesting because I didn't have the desire to do that. It didn't even cross my mind to go there, and I didn't yearn. It wasn't like I was trying to resist. I shouldn't do that. That's not a healthy habit. It just wasn't even innately in there. And I was like, wow, I am sitting with my feelings enough to not stuff it down with food. I think I broke the pattern. I think I really broke the pattern. So then I was like, oh, I need to quickly replace it with something because I broke the pattern. But what am I going to replace it with? So I did something I never did before. I went to Jaguar Karaoke, which is a place where you can rent out rooms individually in private parties. And they have a rate. One person can rent out one room for 1 hour for $20. So for 1 hour, I just sang songs. I had some apple juice. I didn't have alcohol because I was like, oh, do I drink? Do I go to a bar? Because I was thinking maybe I'll go to a bar, drink my frustrations. But I was like, no, that's not healthy. So I was like, I need something to release it. So I went there and I sang for an hour. And afterwards, I did feel better. Now, the feeling was still lingering on a bit, but it didn't feel as bad as it did before I did the singing. And I did feel like I did release the frustration. And singing raises your frequency, it raises your vibration. Even if you're singing a sad song, it still raises it and it releases something. So it was great that I had that experience. And then I came home and I started cooking and I was singing along too. And then he called. And then he was just like, he said he was coming. He thought that we agreed that we were going to see each other, but he didn't give me any specifics. So I was just like, well, I need to know time, I need to know place. And so he couldn't come up with something, so I came up with something. And then he called me bossy for coming up with something. Now, I told you about some power struggles in my past relationship, and that was a vulnerable aspect of things that I was working on, and now you're weaponizing it in this moment. I was like, I said, I just want to remind you that I hope that you're not using my vulnerability to weaponize it. He said, oh, I would never do that. that type of person, da 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 da. But it just made me think, and it just so happened that I had a therapy session right after I talked to him scheduled. So talked to my therapist about it. Some people do weaponize vulnerabilities subconsciously and don't realize that they're doing it. It might be a learned behavior. You don't know what his past is. And I was like, ooh, that's probably what happened, because he did talk about he had a girlfriend that was emotionally abusive. So he might have learned that behavior. So, needless to say, we make an agreement that we're going to meet at a bar at 9:30. I get there early because it's a karaoke bar, and I was going to go there whether he met me or not, or whether we talked or not. I was thinking about going tonight anyway. So I get there around 9 o'clock. I knew he was going to be there at 9:30 because that's what I agreed to. And so I could get on the list and get ready to be able to sing a song maybe before he gets there. So I'm waiting to go up to sing my song. 9:30 comes, he's not there. 9:36 comes, he's not there. 9:40, he's not there. I get a text from him. When did I get my text from him? It was 9:45 on the dot. He says, I'm out some other time. You agreed to come meet me, and now you're saying you're out some other time. So I said, let's not. I see you don't respect you. Let's not. I see you don't respect my time. And then all of a sudden he says, I'm still here and down the street now. If you're here, call me right now. You just told me that you weren't going to meet, and now all of a sudden you're down the street. And then he called me immediately when I said that you don't respect my time. So it's like, oh, you don't respect my time, but now you want to call and talk about it. If you respected my time, you wouldn't leave a half-assed text talking about later. I'm out. I'll see you later. I deserve an explanation. I deserve an apology for wasting my time. And you don't have the decency to even call me and say, hey, something came up, I'm not going to make it. Instead, you're going to send me a half-assed text. And then once I clap back about not wanting to deal with you at all, now all of a sudden you want to call me? And then, so I didn't answer his calls. And then he said, you must not be here, right? And I said, I'm here. But you are playing games. I'm cool. I'm not dealing with someone who's playing games. We too grown for that. Then he tried to call me again. And then he was like, where are you? Why are you not picking up your phone? You must not be here. I'm still here. I said, I went home. Goodbye, Patrick. So I was just like, you know what? I'm done with you. I took a lift and didn't respond back until I was already home. I'm home. Because it's like, I don't like anyone who wastes my time. I don't like anyone who doesn't have respect enough to deal with someone else's time. Things come up, you communicate. If something comes up, you apologize. Sorry, I thought I could do this, but I can't. And you make a new agreement. I've come across some dudes that are like that they feel entitled that they can just cancel on people without any repercussions, and that is totally okay. I guess that's a deal breaker for me. Anyone who doesn't respect my time is out. You don't have the decency to plan in advance, to call if there's a cancellation, to reschedule, to communicate. And that on a whim you can cancel plans like that with no regard for someone else's feelings or time. That's not a person I want to deal with. So I don't care what the excuse is. The way he just dismissed me was enough for me to know that ain't my person. You don't dismiss people like that. Especially if you know someone is at a location waiting to meet you. You're late already. You're 15 minutes late, and you send a text 15 minutes later, I'm out some other time. very ambiguous, just flip it, just dismissive. So I blocked him. I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. He already showed who he is. I'm good. I ain't got nothing to do with that. There's no reason why I need to be involved with someone who doesn't respect me and respect my time. If you don't respect my time, you're not respecting me. So there's so many ways that could have been handled differently. And it started by picking up the phone and making it right. He only started to pick up the phone once he saw that I was done dealing with him. And the thing that sucks about this is the guy that I like the most out of all of them. I had the strongest connection to him, and he became the asshole, so it's frustrating. But I'm glad he showed me who he is now. I'm glad he made his mistakes now to save me from the headache of the future, because the therapist was saying, you don't need another child. You need someone who's gonna be able to handle schedules and things. You got all these other things going on. You don't need someone that's gonna create more for you. You don't need someone that's gonna be helping you. You know what? I should probably stop talking to all these dudes who can't plan a simple first date. I got two. Well, one of them I just kind of let drift away because I stopped responding to him. And then there's another one who's just hiding behind work, so he's not trying to meet either. So I was just like, why am I even entertaining him? I should just let him drift away as well. Because there's nothing, they're wasting my time. I could be having more genuine connections with other people who actually value me. So it's a lesson learned. It's definitely a lesson learned. But I'm complete. I'll see you tomorrow.